Well, let's start off with the fact we're going to have another Artemis mission. That is, and the group has been named, of course, quite a bit in advance because they have a lot of work to do. Do we have a? We have a photograph. Randy Bresnik is the commander. He's a retired Marine Corps colonel. He became an astronaut in 2004, so he's a veteran, right? And he'll be joined by Andre Douglas from NASA, who served in the Coast Guard, Frank Rubio, an experienced astronaut who once spent more than a year aboard the International Space Station. So I guess he knows how to be locked up for long periods without getting tense. And Luca Parmitano, who's representing the European Space Agency.
Italy.
From Italy, right? Who'll round out the group. And they're going to be part of the Artemis 3, which is going to try. This one around the backside of the moon, the whole moon, at quite a distance, so it could take videos of the entire moon. Whereas if you get really close up, you're only going to get sections, no matter how wide your lens is, right? So this one will be different. This will go in closer to examine the surface of the moon. Don't know if it's going to do a landing, though.
No.
I think that's the next. It's
not.
I think there's going to be this. There's going to be one more exploratory like this, and then a landing. And they're going to try to get that all done in the next 2 years.
Next 2 years.
But by the end, but before Trump is out of office.
2027.
Before Trump is out of office.
Well, I'm excited. I'm going to go.
I don't know what was the use of having these Epstein hearings, and you can't see them or hear them. So according to the reports by everybody who's gotten campaign contributions from Bill Gates denied that he did anything wrong with Epstein. He denied witnessing any illegal activity with Epstein. I don't know that he denied going to the island with Epstein, and they don't say that. And he claimed that he didn't fully understand Epstein's crimes at the time. But see, I don't know, as a lawyer who did a lot of cross-examining, that's a bit of a loaded answer. What do you mean, Gates? You didn't fully understand it. Well, okay, you didn't fully understand it means you understood to some extent. Tell me the extent to which you understood it.
Well, the extent to which you participated.
What do you mean by you didn't fully understand it? What didn't you understand of it? There were a lot of these young girls hanging around. You were going on an island, and they were going to the island. He was missing a lot, and gosh, some of them say you had sex with him. I think. I don't know. Do some of them say that? Is he fingered as somebody who had sex with little girls? I don't know.
So I don't know about little girls.
What does Jufrey say?
He admits to affairs and
with adults
and prostitutes. And then there's also the allegation, and I think this is what's disputed, that he asked for some antibiotics, or was it antibiotics, from Epstein to slip to Melinda.
That's from Epstein.
It's from a draft email in the Epstein files.
Wrote to himself.
So it's very much like it's not a done deal, right? But that is what in a draft email in the Epstein files, Jeffrey Epstein indicated that Bill Gates requested drugs to.
But does anyone allege that he had sex with underage girl?
I'm not sure. I don't.
Okay, well, we don't know. We don't know. And since we were not at the hearing, we don't know what they questioned him about. So he got complete. I guess if you're that rich, you get complete protection.
Well, why do they put those behind closed doors? I thought all these members of Congress wanted
to protect him.
Where's Thomas Massey? Where's
to protect him?
Oh,
Thomas Massey now. Now's his moment, right? Was he there?
No, every single district of those members of that committee is getting a little Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation pickleball.
Well, I don't know about Melinda
or Bill Gates pickleball court. Sorry, yeah.
Melinda's not too happy with him. I mean, I think the large number of prostitutes wasn't enough to shake up Melinda.
Well, and then back to the charity too, though.
And
Okay.
he claims he was blackmailed.
Well, he claims he was raising money when he was trying to deal with Epstein. And it's like, dude, you're a billionaire. Stop raising money from like weird sex traffickers, right? Like you have money. Like you should be giving money.
I don't know. Didn't he notice the painting of Clinton when he went in the house?
I don't mind the painting. I think.
But I mean, it has to tell you the guy's a weirdo, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Weird is okay sometimes.
And everyone knew that Clinton was a weirdo. Trump's birthday is on Sunday, so if you want to wish him happy birthday, wish him happy birthday. Carmelo Anthony was convicted yesterday. There's all kinds of disputes about it, that it was a racial case. I mean, you see the video. He's stabbing the guy to death.
Right. I mean, it's
Now,
cut and dry.
the guy didn't have a weapon, so it can't be some kind of self-defense. The 17-year-old boy didn't have a weapon. He had the weapon, and he killed him. What else? Tell me what else is involved in this case that I'm missing. And now everybody, a certain number of people are all upset that this was a black and white case. You're not going to prosecute somebody for killing someone because one is black and the other is white? How stupid is that?
He was sentenced.
And they said it was an all-white jury. Well, there happened to be Hispanics and Asians on the jury also. So there were other minorities on the jury. Since when do blacks not trust Hispanics?
Whenever the race baiting industrial complex can make a little bit of money and get a little bit of attention, they're going to exploit it. But they really don't have the facts on their side in this case. And like, it's not a
their
race.
defense
This
was
is not a
called
racial
sudden
issue.
passion. Now, sudden passion is not a defense to murder. Sudden passion is a defense that either can reduce the degree of murder or it can reduce the penalty. And that defense was rejected by the jury on both issues. And he got a 35. The jury sentenced him. His lawyers decided they would do better, they thought, with the jury than they would with the judge. Well, they didn't. They couldn't have done worse with the judge, but they might have done better, although I doubt it. The case is you wonder why he isn't doing life in prison. I know he's young, but this is a completely unjustified taking of a 17-year-old's life. If they wanted to fight, fine, fight. But why did this guy have to pull a knife out? The other guy didn't have a knife. So, any ongoing activity in the Strait of Hormuz?
So the U.S. is is hitting new positions inside Iran tonight, taking out military.
Have they gone
locations.
further?
Have
Have they gone further in than the Strait?
These are hitting. Yeah, we believe they are hitting inside the country. We believe that they are. I'm going to bring that up right now.
Well, attacks are ongoing from what I understand.
We'll play some video here of this is some B-roll we're getting. This is from this is an IRG center in Iran. So what we're looking at here is this is a IRGC headquarters. We're trying to figure out where inside.
Yeah, it has to
This
be
is
us
the
because
command
they
and
don't hit
control
anything.
center in Rabat Karim in the Tehran province, and shockwaves are being felt throughout the area.
Well, here's a breakdown that I was able to get. The U.S. began at 5:15 Eastern time, 12:45 local time. It will be June 11 there, by the way. And they've attacked Bandar Abbas, Sarak, and Manab, which means they've moved in off the coast. And they've also hit Kush Island and Kish Island. Now, Qishim Island, they've hit so often, I can't even believe it's there anymore. Kish Island is another island that the Iranians use for extortion in the Gulf of Hormuz. They also have recently, very recently, heard air raid sirens in Tehran. Now that would be a major escalation if they start hitting Tehran. The targets appear focused on military and naval sites. They're much more similar to the kind of strikes we did during the ongoing war. They're very complete. It's unclear as to whether we have Israeli support for them directly. We probably do indirectly. And they do because they're complainers. They do admit that several water facilities have been taken out in the Hormozgan province, which is in southern Iran, which will deprive hundreds of thousands of water. This, of course, follows yesterday's U.S. strikes, and which were basically confined to the coast of the Strait of Hormuz to make certain that we were complete in removing all of their guns and their launchers and their ability to hit us in the straits. Because remember, they've had about 4 weeks to rearm. Yesterday's was what you would call a measured, controlled attack. That, which you're looking at right there, is warfare.
And I don't know if we cover, this is still developing, but
those are major attacks.
Did we cover that the U.S. military fired on a tanker, an oil transport tanker, in violation of the blockade, making it the 8th merchant vessel? I don't know if you mentioned that one. That's new.
Well, I mean, I don't know how it's in violation of the blockade. The tankers aren't allowed to come in there. They're going to get blown up. That's what a blockade is, assholes.
Yeah. Yeah, in the U.S.,
Sorry,
we just fired on one.
I apologize.
Apparently. We just fired on a tanker.
Yeah, we fired on a tanker because we have a blockade, and that's
that's what.
So don't go there, tanker. You know what a blockade means? It means you're not supposed to come into this body of water, and it means that the single biggest naval power in the history of the world is going to stop you. You think they're there to fish?
It's not like you have anything flammable on board.
Now we'll see if Iran can hit a target. They've been flailing about for two nights with all kinds of attacks, and we haven't heard of any serious damage done in Kuwait, in Bahrain, or in Jordan, which they've hit. Notice they haven't tried to hit Israel.
Maybe they've tried.
They can't.
I don't want them to. I'm not inviting them to do it. I'm just raising that. Well, they and Israel had a back and forth earlier over the weekend, actually, and then they decided to stop. So maybe they don't want to start up again with Israel.
Right.
I mean, basically, when they hit Jordan. Well, Bahrain is kind of defenseless. UAE isn't, and Jordan isn't. They have at times, particularly UAE, put their fighter planes in the air and done some damage. I'd really like to see them join us. I mean, if we're going to do it, it might as well be a massive attack, and once and for all, destroy everything we can destroy from the air. That would degrade this regime of terror. This is, as I have said endlessly for 13 years, maybe for parts of 47, this is not going to end until the regime of terror is gone. They are committed and have proven that they want to destroy us. Us, our civilization, our religions. They want to destroy everything about us. They want to take over the world. Maybe it's hard for you to believe that, but it shouldn't be when you watch what they do. It shouldn't be when you see what we can do to them and they turn down negotiations. I mean, Trump is begging them to negotiate. What you're seeing right now, they literally have done to themselves. They asked for that. And do they really think we're not going to do it? We did it before.
So what more do you expect from this evening's attacks? How deep do you think it'll get? Are we going to hit the mountains?
It depends. It depends on what Hegseth and Kane talk them into.
Dr. Maria happens to be in the studio, and she said they're going to be going pretty hard tonight. That's her, and she's been talking to people kind of in the inner circle. And
well, I think they are. Yeah, I think this. I think this is going to. I think his comment about how they've just wasted too much time showed how fed up he is with this.
I think that's the move. So I think that's what they're going to keep doing. And strategically speaking, we do. Well, we'll have a midterm.
But now I'm not negotiating with. Yeah.
And they want to string it out.
Well, I'll tell you what the signal is, and that's the signal I was looking for. Moving off the coast. What they did yesterday on the coast was, in fact, a measured response that Iran had to have expected. They attack there. Even if they're right and it's an accident, we're going to attack back because it's an accident they caused by constantly firing. They are bound to hit a helicopter with the firing they were doing. And secondly, it's only a matter of either good luck, God, or our ingenuity that these men are alive. Iran did what was necessary to kill them for the second or third time. So I don't know if the second attack was planned when the first attack took place. What I mean by that is our original response was to hit that coast that you see there, as we had been doing 4 weeks earlier, almost every night. The reason for that is to neutralize any offensive potential they have in the Strait of Hormuz. Now, it's quite apparent we did not, during that phase of the war, eliminate all of that because they've been able to terrorize people in the straits. True, without an awful lot of gunfire and without an awful lot of striking, but enough so that you just need one shot to blow up a ship, right?
And throw markets into turmoil. The weapons economic.
And you create. Who wants to risk their $10 million worth of oil in their ship to the vagaries of whether Iran is going to bomb you or not, right?
Yeah, 10 million. I think those ships.
Okay, 20 million, 30 million, whatever. Who wants to risk it? And the men don't want to risk their lives, right? So all you need to do is have just a little capacity left, and you can terrorize.
And while we're on this topic, I think we didn't talk about it this hour. We talked about it last hour, the remote rescue via, what do you call it? A drone boat. How incredible was that? Right.
I would imagine Xi Jinping is starting to think again, are they really a paper tiger? That's quite a paper tiger, Xi.
Yes.
Yeah. America is deteriorating militarily.
As you see a drone boat pull up. Yeah.
Look
at that thing. That's so cool.
You bomb their helicopters and their pilots come out unscathed. What are you going to do with them?
Man, I wouldn't go back right away if I got rescued. I'd be like, hey, can we take this thing?
They're probably back already.
Take this thing to the islands.
You know what our military is like.
Oh, yeah.
They're back already. I'm telling you.
Excellent.
So the Wall Street Journal just 2 days ago, this sounds like a pretty useless article now, says, Iran is now emboldened. Did that country that was being bombed look emboldened? Or did it look like it was getting bombed? What the hell did they write this stuff for? Iran is emboldened. Iran's series of ballistic missile salvos aimed at Israel signal Tehran's desire to project power across the region and put Washington on the defensive and demonstrate that it remains a significant with strike capability. Let's start out by pointing out they didn't hit anything.
Right.
Now, is Israel really going to get, I mean, this is a big boy army, right? You shoot at me for 5 hours and you don't hit anything. Am I going to really get seriously panicked? Or am I going to use it as an excuse to do what they did, blow the hell out of you? By the way, when you see the fires, with maybe one exception, you're watching either Israel or the U.S. They don't create fires because their missiles don't land. One out of maybe 100.
Wow.
So far. Iran's decisions show they believe they have the upper hand, with Trump deterred from renewing the fighting. That sound wrong too? That looks like he's deterred.
Yeah, right.
Show him the pictures again, how deterred we are.
Yeah. We got it up.
Iran has also shown in the weeks of skirmishes that it has more than enough missiles to stay in the fight. The real question is, do the missiles hit anything? It's great to have missiles, but they're not there to have them and put them up in the air for like an airing out. They're supposed to hit and destroy things. Their percentage is abysmal. And our percentage is ridiculously high. I mean, one of the things I think we did even more effectively than taking out the ballistic missiles is to take out their delivery systems. Doesn't do you any good. You can't throw a ballistic missile.
They are U.S. forces.
And now this same reporter who wrote all this stuff about, with the headline of Iran's emboldened, etc. Listen to what he writes. Pipsqueak brain. Iran responded with a series of missile strikes on Israel that did little damage. Israel responded by striking an important Iranian petrochemical plant and numerous air defenses. Well, who won that? This is like a boxing match. You hit me 4 times in the face and I smiled at you. I hit you once in the face and I knocked you out for a day. Who won the fight? Do they read what they write? Who wrote this? Lawrence Norman and Jared Malson. I would like to ask him if he read the paragraph that he wrote that said that their missiles did little damage.
Who's saying that? Oh, it's not in there?
Why make a big deal out of firing 100 missiles if they do no damage? In fact, what it proves is how effing incompetent you are.
Well, and it kind of just sort of
missiles are supposed to hit something.
Yes.
And it reflects expectations as well, right? So the fact that they could even launch 100 missiles to some is impressive, I suppose.
No,
right?
it's not. Not if they don't hit anything.
Well, exactly, right?
And not if they have a history of not hitting anything.
Right.
Exactly.
That's a very good point. But I guess you would use that if you were going to strike back, right? You might not point out how little damage they did.
No, if you want to create a if you're a reporter and your editor and your boss wants you to create a misimpression.
Oh, I think we were under the impression that was the Iranian regime's.
That was the Wall Street Journal.
But you also want to take
that was the Wall Street Journal reporter.
Well, you can see why Israel
who wrote contradictory things in his column or article, but is too stupid to realize that he made a fool out of himself.
Right.
Yeah, but he doesn't get paid by his handler.
But even the attempts.
Maybe he has intelligent parents who read that and say, "What the hell happened to you?"
Right.
Maybe. But what else do we got?
So Iran is now begging for a ceasefire for Lebanon because they fear a civil war in Lebanon. And that if Lebanon if Lebanon goes the way the President Aoun of Lebanon wants it to go, they will join Israel in truly wiping out Hezbollah because they're tired of being a pawn. Now, there is both an anti-Hezbollah party in Lebanon and a pro-Hezbollah party or pro-Iran party. But the pro-Iran party is being beaten on quite effectively now. And the president has been very vocal that Iran is using them as a pawn, and they've got to extricate themselves from Hezbollah. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to rebuild their country. Now, they really should, because Hezbollah destroyed their country. And their natural ally is Israel.
Lebanon?
Yeah, Lebanon's natural ally is Israel. Right. And I think that in pushing this so far, Iran and Hezbollah may have pushed them into the arms of Israel. We'll have to see. The Wall Street Journal also, which I don't know if it works for Qatar, or has an article about how unpopular Bibi is in the United States and Israel. Israel's really unpopular. While they're fighting for their survival, I don't think they really care. Now, it would be difficult if America abandoned them, but there's no chance of that under Trump. And they are trying as hard as they can to get this over with before Trump leaves office, because I think Bibi is well aware of the fact that the Democrat Party is now without any question an anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish party on a scale that is exceedingly high. It's not as if anti-Jewish sentiments are tolerated. They're one of the major features of the party. Attacking Israel, attacking Jews, attacking Jewish positions, and blaming things on Jews that have nothing to do with, which is the hallmark of Nazism, isn't it? I mean, they got a candidate in Maine who just did that. The guy with the Nazi thing and attacked Fetterman for being controlled by Israel and by the Israeli lobby. That's the stupidest thing in the world. I mean, Fetterman is probably the last guy in the Senate and controlled by anyone. About the last one who can act in a bipartisan way, certainly on their side. Well,
right.
Before we take a break, maybe we'll take a break, and when we come back, some of you will agree with me, and some of you will think I'm being very childish. But it'll be fun to watch it. So come on back. U.S. Army Major Scott Smiley paid a high price serving our nation. Scott was leading his platoon in Iraq when a blast sent shrapnel through his eyes, leaving him blind and temporarily paralyzed. Scott would become the first blind active duty military officer before medically retiring years later. Thanks to friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave Scott and his family a mortgage-free, specially adapted smart home. Show your support for America's heroes now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Are you ready for some action?
I'm ready for action.
Get the Elite TV plan only through the portal. 218 channels, and it's only $69.95 a month,
Wow.
including your free portal.
That's cheaper than everyone else.
Your favorite sports, movies, news,
Wow.
even daytime dramas. We're talking about ESPN, OAN, Newsmax,
Wow.
channels you can't get anymore in certain areas.
Compared to the competition, this is a way better deal.
Endless selection. Not to mention all the free music channels. There's over 700 premium and classic movies all ready to go.
Wow.
Plus, they got catch-up TV that allows you to go back and watch what you've missed or want to watch again. Cut your cable in half and get twice as much for free.
Way more channels for half the cost.
After the first year, the subscription then drops to $57.95 monthly,
Wow.
where you change or upgrade anytime. Go to QUXNow.com and get yours today. Use promo code RUDY. Act fast. These deals are selling out.
Here we are, pretty much at the beginning of the process here at this pristine, I call it a laboratory, or
not like a factory, it's like a hospital. This is the beginning of the process for roasting. Deep green, very good quality. Most people don't use this quality. We deal with small farmers because they like to know who we're dealing with. They give us the highest quality, all organic, non-GMO. You should know all Arabica beans, no Robusto, all Arabica. They're going to go into the roaster and it'll get roasted for about 20 minutes or so. Oh my goodness, look at these. My goodness. You're going to want to specially order these. This is what goes into Rudy's coffee.
Welcome back. This is Rudy Giuliani, America's Mayor Live. Before I get into one of the biggest thefts of this year, massive, like those ones they make movies about. We may make a movie about this theft. Let me clarify about Gates so that we're fair to him. Just because all those lefties are unfair to us, we shouldn't be unfair to them. It's not right. That's the only way we're going to straighten this out. So here's the public record with regard to Gates. You can have suspicions, you can have doubts, but this is all that exists and nothing else has been proven. Now, you can say that's part of things being lost, the logs being lost, things being mishandled, but that's not necessarily Gates' fault or anybody else. So Gates, there's no evidence that Gates was ever on the plane. So take. No, he's never been to the island. Thank you. Dr. Maria is correcting me. She said he's been on the Gates plane, which is okay. I mean, I make it to, this is my own personal distinction. I think you're in the area of suspicion when you go to the island. If you fly around on that plane, he would do that with his clients all the time. And it got to be a whole group of people that he hid his life from. A guy who operates like that reveals his life only to people he can trust. And then he's got a whole different life to the people who are his clients, his targets for getting money or whatever. So Gates, assuming this is true, Gates didn't go to that island. That goes a long way to say he wasn't part of that war, that he wasn't trusted to be part of that pedophile world. Okay. Second, there's no allegation against him that he associated with prostitutes through Gates. Through Epstein. That Gates went through Epstein to get prostitutes. He has admitted that he had affairs with Russian prostitutes, which of course created a real problem in his marriage, and they're divorced. And he has said that Epstein used that knowledge of that to attempt to extort him and to blackmail him, which I think he resisted. I think. So that's the state of what Gates has said in his defense, which has not been rebutted by anything that we have publicly. And therefore, as every other person, rich or poor, he's innocent until proven guilty, right? We all agree on that.
He's suspicious.
Have your doubts, have them privately. Sorry.
Okay.
That's all I asked for, and I never got it.
I'll have my private doubts
Good.
over here.
That's all I asked for, and I never got it. He should get it. Now, here's no doubt about this at all. The Knicks, it was complete robbery, theft, dishonesty. This was a very close game. It could have been won by either side. There are two overpowering players on either side. One is Wemby, who's 7'4" or 5. He's one of the greatest natural talents to ever play basketball. He's a giant who can shoot like the little men used to shoot. He shoots 3-point plays. He never misses from the free throw line. He can drive to the basket. I would say that he's got a little weakness that Towns exploited in the first 2 games, but wasn't able to exploit it in this game because Towns outplayed him in the first 2 games because Towns is stronger than he is. He's not of course, he's very strong, but he's not an overpowering center. He's more of a finesse center. He's overpowering because he's so tall. And his defense is good, but you can see Brunson going around him, and Hanoi and several of the others can fake him out. Twice, Hart left him just looking at the stands. So that would be the weakness of his game. He also is a bully, and he gets away with it. All throughout watching him, I can see him committing all kinds of fouls that are ignored by the refs. There were 2 fouls that he committed the other night that are close to crimes. One of them is close to a crime of assault. How this was not called should result in some serious consequence. Now let's watch this. This is the Knicks' best player, Galen Brunson. Now they said that's not a deliberate foul. Do you notice the elbow deliberately going into the chin and knocking him down? See that? Look at that. How could you watch that as an honest man or woman and not call that a deliberate foul? And there are fouls. There's another one.
Oh, what's he doing? Grab him by the neck.
This happened before the other one. We have them in reverse order. By the time he did the second one, he should have been thrown out of the game and suspended for another game.
See, this one that we're watching now, in my opinion, is the more egregious foul.
Putting the elbow under the chin is absurd.
See, I don't see an elbow in the chin.
You don't see it?
No, I see a forearm in his chest, actually.
Oh, that's the same thing.
Okay. It looks like they're
being
aggressive.
And started in the chest and it went up to the chin.
And I'll get back to this. It's the finals. We want them to play hard.
Of course, it's the finals. You can't knock somebody down and push them out of the way.
Yeah, you got.
Now let's show the one they called on Brunson.
Oh, this one. This is where it has to go both ways, right? If you're going to be going
dirty game, the refs say
hard, you got to call this other one.
Can you see this?
it's
That's a deliberate foul. That's not just a foul.
Oh my God, that's not a foul.
But I'm not even sure it's a foul. They called a flagrant foul on Brunson, the same guy who got knocked to the ground twice.
Oh, what?
So do you know that could account for 9 points?
Oh, that's absurd.
Ted, that could account for 9 points.
Well, I know,
particularly the way Brunson shoots. Brunson is a 90+% shooter from the free throw line.
That's why it's
as is Wemby.
riled up.
See, if you're gonna call him on that, you have to call the other one. Otherwise, you got to let them play because that wasn't even close.
I can see that's a regular foul. He touches his hands. That's a regular 2-point foul.
What, that top one?
He's in the act of shooting, and
I can't see him.
okay. What I can't tell is if he got the ball or the hands. But
Looking at the feet, right? They circled the feet, and I'm like, it's
but that has to be accidental.
right, exactly.
You didn't do that on purpose.
No.
I don't even. Yeah.
If there is a foul, it was touching his hands while he was shooting. How that can be flagrant? Let's show the other 2 again, and they're not flagrant. And that one was. And tell me the refs aren't seriously wrong. Nicest way I can put it. Look at that. There we go. Now let's show the other one. Now, you also should know, since the beginning of this series,
You should press charges.
any number of Spurs have been trying to injure Brunson. Remember the first game, he had to come out twice because they banged him to the ground? They realized if the Knicks don't have Brunson in the fourth quarter, it's a very different team.
Well, and does that brings us back to our talk about the strategy? Is it the right strategy to try to?
Well, it's the right strategy if the refs are going to be unfair. I mean, the right call here, you should be ejected from the game for that. And if that was the second,
I don't know about ejected because you want them. They're playing hard.
you can't do a flagrant foul playing hard. That's why it's a flagrant foul.
He's trying to get.
That's not playing hard. That's playing dishonestly.
He's trying to get to a rebound.
Yeah, but you don't push. You can't push a guy like that in basketball. I mean, the fouls are usually touching like this, not like that.
True.
You don't lunge at somebody. Now, I think, Ted, can you determine before I get off which happened second? Because the second one should have been ejection from the game and probably a penalty and an ejection from the game tonight.
Well, it wasn't the same guy.
Yes, it was.
No. It was Wimby and then the hair guy.
Take
This
a
is
look.
hair guy. This is crazy hair guy.
Yeah, that's the crazy hair guy that pushed him down there.
Which, by the way, cut
No,
the hair.
that's
You're
what-
a professional athlete.
This
This
one
is
You're
Wimby.
disturbed by his hair, but not disturbed with him coming up the bench to target.
He didn't come off the bench.
This is him.
Well,
This is first.
That's Wemby.
This
That's
happened
Wimby.
first.
And then
Oh,
what's
and the
hair
first
guy?
and the first one was
That's the first one.
This is first. And
that's the
then-
first one. So that's Wemby.
And then we have what's that guy's name? The hair guy?
Oh, that's the hair guy. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Castle.
Okay. So let's see tonight what happens if the refs are. Now, is it possible that the refs wanted? I mean, if the Knicks won last night, right? This could all be over, and 3 games of enormous amounts of income for the NBA
Mhm.
would be gone. Is it possible that a sport that has been tarred with players cheating, cases that are now in front of the United States District Court, is it possible that they wanted to make sure the Knicks didn't sweep? Well, maybe it wouldn't have mattered whether maybe it would have gone the same way if San Diego was in that same position. If the refs did what they were supposed to do and ejected both of those ball players on a
Or
flag-
didn't call anything. On
no, if they ejected both of those ball players, there's no
Yeah.
question that San Antonio would have lost.
Right, that's right. And
I mean, without
Oh,
them,
okay, I see what you're saying.
they don't have a team without those 2 guys.
right.
And in fact, when Wemby's off the court, the Knicks just roll all over. So you basically saved the 3rd game so that you could have a series that's going to go at least 5. Well, that game you saved is going to be 50 million, 100 million.
Yeah, they
That's a lot of money.
highest rated game 3.
And
they've had
and
since,
basketball has
Michael
proven that
Jordan.
it isn't like thoroughly honest. We got a lot of prosecutions.
Oh, I will never be able to watch a game without thinking that there might be some rigging going on.
Well, NBA's had a lot of problems with that too.
Those
Going
3,
back even before the apps.
So did the guy that we never agree with, District Attorney Alvin Bragg, do it on a clip?
Yeah. So
Oh God, we get one time to agree with Alvin Bragg. Isn't that amazing?
What did he say?
He said it was theft.
yeah, it appeared to be on print because
Oh, just print.
we can't find.
Wait, it was a theft?
It doesn't take a seasoned prosecutor to know Wemby crossed the line and is guilty of a flagrant foul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where did he say that? What is that?
The handsy San Antonio big man, who, by the way, there have been many complaints that he doesn't have fouls called on him. You know that?
Oh,
All-
yeah.
all
Oh, that's
throughout.
like widely known.
Yeah, he gets away with
And
murder.
I'm wondering, I'm going to look into this and I'll post some updates. But the officiating team, I wonder if it's going to be the same officiating team or a new one. And I'm sure they've been in meetings literally since last game.
And here's
Even
the,
in that game, the Knicks were playing with the burden of Towns, their center, who can defend him with 4 fouls. He had 2.
even soft on crime, DA Bragg would find him guilty. That's what the New York Post said.
Oh, so Bragg
And you
didn't
should know that
actually
this is the
comment.
first person he's found guilty since he's been DA. Bragg said it doesn't take a seasoned prosecutor to know Wemby crossed the line and is guilty of a flagrant foul.
Which is why I'm totally exonerating him and letting him out.
The NBA, meanwhile, decided not to slap the Spurs star with a formal flagrant foul upgrade for the incident, which would have pushed him toward a 1-game suspension during the season. Also, fans wondered how the 7'4" center known as Wemby, or the alien, got access to the exclusive Gramercy Park. This is only in New York, which can only be accessed with a key. Someday, I'll tell you the history of Gramercy Park someday if you want.
Yes.
The Spurs bully. You got to love the Post, and they do sports. I used to read the sports pages before anything else, by the way, when I was an assistant U.S. attorney, even when I was mayor sometimes, and particularly the Post. The Post is the best on sports. It got times beat by so much. The Spurs bully was captured on video before Game 3, sitting on a park bench and sketching a photo of a statue depicting Edwin Booth, a well-regarded Shakespearean actor, best known for being the brother of Abraham Lincoln's assassin, John Wilkes Booth. I absolutely hate the way he treats our players. He fouled Brunson yesterday, and they didn't call it. Longtime Knicks fan Joey Amato, 28, fumed on Tuesday as the Game 3 Blues set in for hopeful Big Apple residents. We can't have any love for him in this city right now. Disdain for the 22-year-old French-born player was rampant all over New York after his 32-point performance, and they took his defender and slapped him.
No, fuck you, Wemby! Fuck you! Can't hold you! Not tonight, Victor! You soft-ass bitch! Not tonight, man!
So that's outside his hotel today. Before
That's
Game
my
4.
city.
Fuck you, Wemby! Fuck you! Can't hold you! Not tonight, Victor! You soft-ass bitch! Not tonight, man!
If Towns had been in the game his usual amount, there's no way he would have scored 22 points. Towns was holding him to 18, 19, 20, and a horrible shooting percentage. He was getting most of his points from the free throw line because he's so big, you can't, he puts his body in front of you and he basically touches you, and then they call a foul on you.
Right.
But he's so big, you can't miss him. You got to kind of go on the ground. Now, how about this? This comes from a San Antonio fan. He had a legacy game, but he be doing something dirty, S-H-I-T. Gabriel Ramos added. I think he's the serious villain for sure, said Mario Mendez. New York loves villains. Just wait until the next night. F. Wimby, the 16-year-old, said flatly. You shouldn't say that. Even a Spurs fan thought Wemby's push of Brunson was downright ugly. It didn't look good, and I hope it doesn't turn him into a villain, said Sarah, 36, as she waited to ask for his autograph outside the Ritz-Carlton, where the Spurs were staying during their city visit. I hope they got a big bed in the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh my gosh.
You think that when the basketball teams travel, they work it out with the
they probably have some,
or you bring an extender with you, like some sort of device.
Someday I'm not gonna tell you the story. I can't. I'll tell you off the screen. F. Wemby shouldn't do that. Mm-mm. I would never do that. Never.
You never heckled at the Madison Square Garden Knicks game?
What?
You never heckled at a Knicks game?
I've got a bad cough, Ted.
Yeah. Maybe as a young man.
I just went to confession. I don't want to lie.
I'd call him Windy. Hey, Windy.
So, okay, we got to get some. We want to get off so they can go see Dr. Maria, who had a great show tonight. She's going to have an absolutely great show.
That's
So
right.
you can't miss it. So SPLC leader yesterday, and we didn't get a chance to cover it like we should, testified, and they were saying that these people, they were using these people as undercover the way law enforcement did. They were giving them millions and millions when the Klan and all of these other so-called white supremacy groups, I'm not sure if they even exist if it wasn't for the left wing funding them.
Right.
I mean, until I saw Fuentes, I'd never seen a white supremacist. So the SPLC leader was being grilled by Congress yesterday, and his defense was pathetic. His defense was, "Oh, we were using them as informants." How many times did they turn him over for prosecuting these people? That's what you use informants for. You don't use informants so they can do what Whitey Bulger used to do with the FBI agent who went to jail for the rest of his life, and with sleepy Mueller letting it happen when he was U.S. attorney in Boston, where you give information to the FBI agent, he puts the Italian gangsters in jail, but he lets you murder people. You get a chance to operate for 10 years and you murder 6 people, while the FBI agent is becoming famous by catching mafia gangsters. Which is why Whitey disappeared, I must say, in jail.
Right.
And you should know that Whitey's brother was the partner of Hunter Biden and Joe Biden.
That's right.
Joe Biden is much worse than you think. And I know because I discovered it. So they had these guys. Now, these people didn't even want to be members any longer. They funded them. They helped them get the stuff they used to create, like the placards and everything else. And they never turned them in for testimony to any law enforcement agency. So what kind of informants were they?
Right.
They were informing for what purpose? So they could have information and just continue to try to allege that white America is racist when they were creating the funding for white American racism. And Biden, the auto pen idiot, was saying America is systemically racist when I was going nuts because people don't know what systemic means. It means everyone. Like that son of a you-know-what was calling all of us racist.
Right.
And I swear, everybody out there in that audience is less racist, even if you have a little bit, than Joe Biden was. Most of you didn't say, I'm not going to send my children to school with the animals.
Right.
He was referring to black people, by the way.
Here's a little bit from the hearing.
Should be left out of this conversation. Your organization has labeled Dr. King and Charlie Kirk and others. Do you regret that? Will you recant it? Or are you going to double down and say that these people, including the martyred Charlie Kirk, in fact, somehow deserve to be on your hate list for they're constantly talking about bringing people together, talking about the teachings of the Bible and the like?
Congressman Issa, as I said in my statement.
Now, wait a second. No. I heard your statement. I only want an answer to your question in the 11 seconds left. Are you going to recant, yes or no? And if you're not going to, please don't tell me it's because now you're under charges. Your organization did it as much as 16 years ago. Will you take back any part of that, or is your hate list stand as your position of your organization as its head today?
The SPLC will continue to expose hate and extremism.
Okay, we'll take that as the list stands. Mr. Chairman.
Do you wish you hadn't have done the program?
Chairman Jordan?
Okay.
Will be addressed.
Do you wish you hadn't have done the program?
About the informant program.
You said the program was successful, helpful, but now you're stopping it.
We stopped the program because we believe hate and extremism has migrated significantly online and into government agencies.
Wow, that's big. That makes no sense.
Isn't that sad and pathetic?
Well, it's easy to manufacture.
To see a black man who helps to enslave his people. It's a different kind of enslavement. It's enslavement by brainwashing. It's enslavement by by completely feeding them false information. It's enslavement by consigning them to inferior education, by taking money from the teachers union. It's enslavement by funding the white organizations, the few that exist, that might not exist if they weren't putting money into it. And I'm going to tell you, this is the way they did January 6th. I knew that the evening of January 6th. You're going to eventually know it in one way or another. These people are evil. Somehow, because they threw God out, way back when they first started killing children. And for example, the black representatives of Harlem sat there 2 years ago voting for extreme abortions, like on the 9th month last day, when more black children were aborted than born in Harlem. This is exactly the goal of Planned Parenthood when they began being the biggest provider of abortion, to wipe out what they called, quote, dumb black people. Well, who's doing that now? The congressmen who are getting rich while the neighborhoods never change for 50 years. It's, I don't know if you call it reverse racism, or that guy you saw sitting there is by hook or by crook or on purpose or not. He has done tremendous damage to his own people.
And the country.
And to us.
And the country,
And to
tearing
us.
at the fabric
And
of the
to us.
country.
And to us.
And it's noteworthy, too, that they say, oh, it's migrating online. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the racism online and the hateful messages were coming right out of a comms office at the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Well,
and where is it easier?
$4.1 million was pumped into the KKK. It wasn't. This isn't a long time ago. This is 2021 to 2023, during the Biden administration, who, of course, they knew they had perfect immunity to do it. Nobody was going to look at them in the Biden administration.
Oh, you'll love this, too. Our Democrat gubernatorial candidate in Michigan was on the board during those years. So
now, you all know about Democrat Socialists of America, right? This is Mondami's party and a number of others. This is a communist party. This is not a socialism. Socialism, well, first of all, socialism is communism. Both were invented by Karl Marx and Engels, not invented. They were sort of like the Columbus. A lot of people had socialist ideas for a long time. Marx is the one that took them and turned them into a hateful ideology that has resulted in 26 of the 28 times that it's been used in massive violence and a country crashing. And yet we have young people who prefer it to capitalism in America because they have very artfully, the communists have, invaded our government, our academic institutions, our lower grades, our teachers union owned by them. They've infiltrated a good deal of our intellectuals feel much smarter criticizing America and demeaning God. You must be a fool if you believe in God. You must be a weakling, as Marx said, if you believe in God. Not that they've come up with an alternative, except Marx, who thought he was God or the devil. He had a whole, like Muhammad did, he had a whole satanic period. I know Muslims don't like to talk about Muhammad's satanic period, do they? That's why they wanted to kill the guy who wrote about it. So DSA, you should know, is an extraordinarily dangerous institution. This is the group that supports Mondami and a number of these other people that are running now. Do you know that it has an initiative called the Red Rabbits Initiative? You know what that is? In practice, that means training members of a DSA in tactics like armed and unarmed self-defense, blocking intersections, fighting fascists with umbrellas. They have done training in, see if these cities mean something to you, right? Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Philadelphia, Tucson, Austin, and Portland. They're trying to create what they would like to call a security apparatus. We would like to call a group of gangsters and violent protesters, because all of their, I mean, in 2020, every protest ended up in burning. This is a peaceful protest, as the reporter hair in the back is burning from the fire behind him. And the little coward then goes on the ground and, I mean, they burned down 40 cities. I'm not sure anybody went to jail. Combination of Soros putting in DAs. It was before our DA, but DAs in all those cities. He had them in there. He had 70 of them. And they only did the major burning demonstrations. Like, they didn't do it in New York. You didn't see a lot of burning in New York. It was before the current DA was there. You saw a lot of burning in Minneapolis. You saw a lot of burning in St. Louis. You had quintessential, major, crooked Soros DAs there who let everybody go. Everybody go. And where did the bail money come from? The Biden-Harris campaign. And where did the big money come from to organize them? Soros and the Chinese communist American who defected to China 40 years ago. So
about Tim Walz?
No. Well, Tim Walz is another story. They got him on a ballot. They got so far as to have a Chinese communist, or what appears to be a Chinese communist. He'll be a Chinese communist until he explains to me how he made all those trips to China, brought American kids there, and got paid an enormous amount of money by the Red Chinese, and wasn't teaching communism to them. Because I'd like to know how he lived not teaching communism. But they're not going to let you come to China and teach Christian values or capitalism or Adam Smith economics. In fact, they'll never let you back, or they'll kill you. They let him back often, and he was a big friend of theirs. The DSA launched the Red Rabbit Security Commission at its 2025 national convention. They teach them 5 core security skills. This is what they admit to publicly. Stop the bleed. Okay. Firearm safety. How about shooting? Unarmed self-defense. Protest marshaling. This is exactly why the 2 people in Minnesota were killed. They were engaged in trained activities to distract the ICE agents. One is called unrest. Unrest is actually rather famous. Unarrest is how you distract the ICE agents while they have arrested an illegal alien. In this case, I think a rapist illegal alien. And in many cases, a rapist illegal alien. Because they have a propensity, this group that came in, when the borders were left wide open, have a disproportionate number of really serious, sick criminals, as you would expect if the borders are left wide open. So, they are trained to do unarrest. Unarrest is to distract the ICE agents. So they get down to 1 or 2 rather than the 4 or 5 who are trying to restrain the guy. And then the guy can get away, or somebody will come in and help him then at that point. That's what the 2 people, well, that's what certainly the second guy that was killed was doing. In fact, there was a video later put out of him trying to do it a week earlier. The woman was even more egregious than that. She drove her massive truck into an ICE agent and didn't expect to get shot. And he tried to obstruct a federal arrest carrying a gun and didn't expect to get shot. Sorry, you kill yourself. And those investigations should be ended. And the mayor and the governor should be arrested for having provoked it. There are about 50 things that Wall should be arrested for, by the way, including maybe being a Chinese agent, maybe. So that's Red Rabbits. There's a lot more about them here. The DSA Oklahoma City Queer Fight Club is one of their hubs for training in self-defense and broader community defense skills. That means how to attack people. The Portland DSA, and you know, Portland isn't even part of America anymore, right? If you go to Portland, I don't know why you would go to Portland. I'm willing to trade it. I trade it with Russia. I mean, what if Russia got anything or China? Maybe they could give us, I don't know, something. Why don't we give it to Denmark and get Greenland for that? They could have Portland. I don't mind if they have a little piece of continental United States, if it's in Portland. A little Washington, Oregon, and even California. You have that whole West Coast. Poof. We'll take the islands off China in return.
Right.
No, we can't let China have anything on our continent. We can't do that. So why don't we just why don't we take away their status as states and make them territories?
Oh, they would actually probably.
We make them territories, where they don't really get to vote. And
We have a few of those.
But they're not Americans.
Giuliani makes joke about disenfranchising.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Well, but it's also true. They don't.
Ted's like, no, I'm all about it.
They don't vote.
Also very active in the New Jersey Mickey Sherrill attack on ICE was the DSA Red Rabbits. They were well trained. That was a very orchestrated attack on a ICE facility that's a modern one, and that turns out to be nicer or as nice as most, probably better than most of the cafeterias in the public schools in New Jersey under the crooked naval cadet who is the cheating naval cadet who is the governor of New Jersey. How does it feel, New Jersey, to have a governor who was a crooked naval cadet and then basically, lived up to that legacy and just caused riots for you? Working with DSA and the Red Rabbits and like 2/3 of the people getting arrested didn't come from New Jersey. And this is because she wants to run for president. She figures by then it's going to be won't even be called the Democrat Party, which would be a good idea because it was the party of slavery. It'd probably be called the Socialist Party of America. But probably the Aggressive Socialist Party of America. They also work with several Communist Party organizations. They work with the Party for Socialism, which is listed as a Communist Party organization run by the Red Chinese. Portland DSA cited its work with the National Lawyers Guild, a left-wing legal group with ties to the to go back to the Soviet Union. So I predict within the next 6 months, the Trump administration will take away their charitable status, their 501c3 status. This is not a charitable organization. This is an organization trying to overthrow the United States government. At minimum. Here's a group of them. You want to take a look what they look like? Here they are. These are the Red Rabbits. And they want to interfere with taking rapists out of the United States. The more rapists, the greater chance that we can have a revolution and we can become communist and Muslim extremist and all the things they would like to be, and one world. Right. Well, now we are going to say no mas, no more, and time out. You got your choice, but I recommend going to Dr. Maria and taping the game. Not going to get interesting until after 10 o'clock because these teams are going to go back and forth until we could put it on now. Somebody can be 20 points ahead and that'll all change. So Go to
Lindell TV.
Wendell TV for Dr. Maria. Then you can put the Knicks on, and then tomorrow night we'll see if they're still cheating. And we'll find out just how much is Iran going to escalate. Are we finally going to overthrow the regime of terror? That's the only answer. Please believe me. It's the only answer to peace, certainly in the Middle East, maybe in the world. With that, pray for the people of Iran, pray for the people of Israel, and pray for the people of Ukraine, who we didn't mention tonight, but are making a comeback. Pray for the people of the United States. Pray that the game tonight is officiated honestly. And pray for our president. He deserves it. He's doing a great job, but he needs your help. He knows that. We all know that. We'll see you tomorrow night. Go to Dr. Maria now. God bless America. It's our purpose to bring to bear the principle of common sense and rational discussion to the issues of our day. America was created at a time of great turmoil, tremendous disagreements, anger, hatred. There was a book written in 1776 that guided much of the discipline of thinking that brought to us the discovery of our freedoms, of our God-given freedoms. It was Thomas Paine's Common Sense, written in 1776, one of the first American bestsellers, in which Thomas Paine explained, by rational principles, the reason why these small colonies felt the necessity to separate from the Kingdom of Great Britain and the King of England. He explained their inherent desire for liberty, for freedom, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the ability to select the people who govern them. And he explained it in ways that were understandable to all the people, not just the elite. Because the desire for freedom is universal. The desire for freedom adheres in the human mind, and it is part of the human soul. This is exactly the time we should consult our history. Look at what we've done in the past and see if we can't use it to help us now. We understand that our founders created the greatest country in the history of the world, the greatest democracy, the freest country, a country that has taken more people out of poverty than any country ever. All of us are so fortunate to be Americans. But a great deal of the reason for America's constant ability to self-improve is because we're able to reason, we're able to talk, we're able to analyze. We are able to